So today we're going to talk about displaying data in box plots. So we're going to continue talking about statistics. And with box plot, we're going to use some of the information that we've already talked about. When we are going to make box plots, it's just a way to organize and display our data so we can get a visual representation on how our data is spread out. So when we create box plots, we're going to need to find the minimum. We are going to have to find quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and the maximum. Now, minimum, median, and maximum should be something that's already familiar to you. Quartile 1 and quartile 3 will be something that is new. And it's actually very similar to finding median, but it's a little bit more specific than just finding the middle number of our set of data. We will also talk about IQR, which is inner quartile range. And we've talked about range before, so this will be also something that might seem familiar. It's going to involve our quartiles. So inner quartile range, we're going to take our quartile 3 and subtract our quartile 1, which will go into more detail as we go through this lesson. So we're going to go ahead and start with example 1. So here it says, Helen wants to display the lengths of 15 fish she caught this year to compare to the lengths of fish she caught last year. How can she use the data to make a box plot? So here's our data here, our length of our fish in inches. And a box plot is a diagram that shows the distribution of data values using the median, quartiles, minimum value, and maximum value on a number line. Quartiles are values that divide a data set into 4 equal parts. When we divide something into 4 equal parts, we're going to be talking about percentages too. 1 quartile is going to represent 25%. So if I break something into 4 parts, 4 equal parts, each part is 25%. So in this case, we're talking about quartiles, so each quartile would be 25%. So 1 quartile is 25%, 2 quartiles, 50%, 3 quartiles, 75%, 4 quartiles, 100%. So the first thing that we want to do with our data here is organize it from least to greatest. Okay, so I'm going to organize it from least to greatest down here. So my first number would be 7. 7, 9, 10, 10, 11, 13, 13, 13, 14, 15, 15, 17, 18, and then 22. So when I create a box plot, I said there was 5 important things that we will need to find out. We'll need to find the minimum, quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and the maximum. 2 of these we can already identify. We can identify the minimum and the maximum. So my minimum is this 7 down here. This is my minimum. So minimum equals 7. And then my maximum is 22. Now, I'm going to go find my median. In order to find your median, remember you cross off 1 from each side until you get a number in the middle. If you have 2 in the middle, you add them together and divide by 2. Now, in this case, I'm just going to underline so we can still see our numbers. So we're going to go left, right, 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 and then I have 1 number in the middle here. So 13 will be my median. So those are things that you should be familiar with so far, the minimum, the median, and the maximum. Quartile 1 and quartile 3 is something that's going to be new. So quartile 1, if we look at this lower half of the data, quartile 1 is the median of that lower half of the data. So I'm going to go find my middle number of this lower half here. Since this 13 was used, this is circled, I don't include it. So I'm only going from 7 to 13, and I'm going to cross off left, right, until I get one in the middle. So left, right, left, right, left, right, one number left in the middle. So that means my 10 is my quartile 1. Quartile 3 is the middle number of my upper half of my data. So I'm going to go left, right, left, right, left, right. 15 is in the middle, so that would be my quartile 3. So now that I have all of this information, I'm going to go create my box plot. You may also hear box plots called box and whisker plots because there's going to be a box in the middle and then 2 whiskers on the outside or 2 lines that kind of extend from the box. Though it might look a little silly, but this will give us a visual representation of our data. So the first thing we want to do is go put dots at these 5 numbers above the number line at the same height. Okay, so you want to leave some space because we're going to be drawing a box around some of these dots, which we'll see in a moment. So I have a dot at 7, 10, 13, 15, and then 22. Okay, so 5 dots for my minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and maximum. Then from here, I connect the first 2 dots, so my minimum and quartile 1, and then I connect my last 2, so quartile 3 and my maximum. Those are called my whiskers. Now in the middle here, I am going to create a box. So in these 3 dots, I can create vertical lines that are the same length through those dots. So vertical lines that are the same length, and then I connect the tops, and I connect the bottoms. So this is my box in the middle. So I have a whisker on the left, a whisker on the right, box in the middle. And the box is just split into 2 pieces. So remember, I said 1 quartile represents 25%. So from here to here is 25%. This is 25%. This is 25%. And this is 25%. Now you should notice that they are all different distances or lengths, and that just shows us how our data is spread out. So if you notice from the median to quartile 3, it's very close together, it's very condensed. That means our data is very close together. From quartile 3 to our maximum, it's spread out more, it's longer, so our data is further apart. So if we look down here, this first section here, from median to quartile 3, 13, 14, 15, they're all really close together. They're numbers that only differ by 1. But going from quartile 3 to the maximum, I have 17, 18, and 22. 17 and 18 are 1 apart, but from 18 to 22, it's a distance of 4. So that spreads out a little bit more. So that's why that section's a little bit longer. If I go from my quartile 1 to my median, that's 50%. Quartile 1 to quartile 3, 50%. Okay, so when you have 2 together, it's 50%. If I go from my minimum to quartile 3, that would be 75% of my data. Okay. One other thing that I do want to mention is interquartile range. So IQR. So I'm going to go ahead and just move this up just a hair so I can do this underneath. So IQR, or interquartile range. You take your quartile 3 and subtract your quartile 1. Okay, this is very similar to range, and I'll talk about range first just so we can make a connection. Range, we took our maximum and subtracted our minimum. So in this case, we would take 22 and subtract 7. 22 minus 7, and that gives me 15. So my range would be 15. So that means going from 7 to 22, it spans a distance of 15 numbers. Now the interquartile range is going to tell me how long my box is. Okay, so it's the distance of that box or the length of that box. So quartile 3 was 15. Quartile 1, whoops, I didn't mean to write equals, I meant to write subtraction, 15 minus 10, and that gives us 5. So that means the distance from 10 to 15, this box here, is 5. So the inner quartile range, quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the try it problem. So I'm going to have you pause the video and try this one on your own. The numbers are already in order from least to greatest for you, so you can start finding your quartiles, minimum, maximum, median, and all that good stuff. So go ahead, pause the video, and try this one on your own. So to get the 5 pieces of data we need, we already know our minimum, maximum, but I'm just going to write down what we need. Minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and then maximum. So our minimum, smallest number, is 7. Maximum, biggest number, 22. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my median. So I'm going to go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Middle number, 13. Quartile 1 is the middle number for the lower half of my data. So left, right, left, right. So 12 is my middle number. And on the right side, left, right, left, right. So 16 is my middle number. So now I'm going to go and find or plot those numbers above my number line. So 7, 12, 13, 16, and 22. Whiskers for the first 2 numbers and the last 2 dots. And then 3 vertical lines in the middle, 3 dots to create my box. So your box should look like this. So we're going to go ahead and move on to example 2. So here it says the Earth Club collected enough donations online to build compost bins. How can the club record the donation information in the box plot? So again, for our box plot, we need our minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and maximum. So we're going to first start by ordering our numbers from least to greatest. Okay, we don't need to worry about who donated, we just look at the numbers. So our smallest number is 10. And then 15, 15, and then 25, 25, 25, 35, 45, 45, 50, 50, and 60. Okay, our minimum value, 10, maximum, 60. Now I'm going to go left, right until I get 1 in the middle for my median. So left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Now I have 2 numbers in the middle. When I have 2 numbers in the middle, I'm going to add them together and divide by 2. So for my median, I have 25 plus 35, and I need to divide by 2. 25 plus 35 gives me 60, and then 60 divided by 2 gives me 30. So that means my median is 30. Now, since I didn't include 25 and 35 for my median, I didn't circle them, I still include that when I do my quartile 1, and I still include 35 when I do my quartile 3. So quartile 1, left, right, left, right, 2 numbers in the middle, so I'm going to add them together. So we have 15 plus 25 divided by 2. So 15 plus 25 gives me 40. 40 divided by 2 gives me 20. So that means quartile 1 is 20. Now I have to do the same thing on the right. Left, right, left, right, two numbers in the middle. So I'm going to add 45 and 50 together and divide by 2. So I get 95 over 2. Now I need to do long division to figure out how many times 2 goes into 95. So I'm going to come over here so I have some space. 2 goes into 9 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract, I get 1. Bring down my 5. 2 goes into 15 7 times. 7 times 2 is 14. Subtract, I get 1. Add a decimal, decimal 0. Bring down my 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. So my quartile 3 is 47.5. So 47.5 is quartile 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my 5 dots on my above my number line. So I have 10, 20, 30, 47.5, and 60. So 10, 20, 30, 47.5 is exactly in between 45 and 50, and then 60. Connect the first 2 dots, last 2 dots, 3 vertical lines in my middle 3 dots, connect the tops, connect the bottoms. So that is my box plot. Now we could also extend off this. We can go ahead and find the range. So remember the range, we take the maximum and subtract the minimum. So here we would have 60 minus 10, which gives us 50. And then IQR, interquartile range, is quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So we have 47.5 minus 20, which would give us 27.5. So now we're going to go ahead and go through example 3. Sometimes you're going to be given the box plot and you just have to identify your important information on your box plot. So here, where my whisker starts, that's my minimum. Where my box starts, quartile 1. The middle line of my box is the median. End of my box, quartile 3. The end of my whisker is my maximum. So the minimum, 8. Maximum, 20. Median is right in between 16 and 18, so that's 17. First quartile, 12. And then the third quartile is 18. And then we have one more problem to do. Okay, I have a try it problem for you. So I'm going to have you go ahead, take a moment, pause the video, and try to answer this yourself. This one you do have to order from least to greatest first, and then identify your minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and your maximum. So I'm going to start by ordering these from least to greatest. So I have 9, 9, 9, 15, 15, 15, 21, 21, 21, 21, 24, and 27. So now I'm going to identify my 5 important things. So my minimum, quartile 1, my median, quartile 3, and then my maximum. So minimum, we already know is 9. Maximum, 27. So now let's go find our median. So left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. 2 numbers in the middle. Okay, so I have to go ahead and add them together. So 15 plus 21 and divide by 2. So 15 plus 21 gives us 36. 36 divided by 2 will give us 18. So that means our median is 18. Left side, I'm going to go left, right. So left, right, 2 numbers. So I have 9 plus 15, and I need to divide that by 2. 9 plus 15 is going to give me 24. 24 divided by 2 gives me 12. So quartile 1 is 12. And then quartile 3, left, right, right. I have 21 and 21. They're both the same number, so that means my quartile 3 is going to be 21. You can add them together. You get 42. 42 divided by 2 would just give you 21. So when you have the same number there, that value is just that number. Okay? So now I'm going to put dots above 9, 12, 18, 21, and 27. So 9, 12, 18, 21, and 27. Whiskers, first 2 dots, last 2 dots. Vertical lines on the other 3 dots in the middle. Connect the tops, connect the bottoms. And that is what your box plot would look like.